friends, strangers, internet. My name is Emily. I love colorful makeup and colorful language. If you are noticing some changes, I have changed my YouTube channel name. I'm gonna try not to mention that in every intro to the next couple of videos, but if I do, give me some grace. But I'm still Emily, I'm imperfectly Em, and I'm so happy that you are here. And today I am doing a video about color theory and just a couple of ways that I play with that with my makeup. If you, everyone should know the Corn song, the Corn Kid.
I really like corn.
What do you like about corn?
It's corn! A big corn that knobs.
It's that whole viral meme, that adorable, perfect human. That song that has come from it, that energy, that is me with color theory. It is, it makes me happy. I'm so fascinated with it. That is me. So after doing the graphical liner video and live that I did recently, I was just like, I need to be talking about this kind of stuff more on my channel. It's something that brings me a lot of joy, and it's something that has helped and really it's really helped my makeup. It's really brought it to another level for me. I find that this mindset of like, my face is a canvas, makeup is beautiful art materials, because sometimes there is more beauty than function in them, but beautiful art materials, and just like mix and play and all of that, like that's really been like this huge development for me, especially in the last 6 months. So I want to show you 3 ways that I work with color theory with my makeup. I'm going to try to show you as much comparison as I can, and show you the application process and talk through my feelings as we go. This is very much imperfectly a first take on this kind of video. So I would love for you to leave any thoughts or feelings you have in the comment section. And if you like colorful makeup, if you like bitches with lots of opinions, or you like cute fat babes, I hope you will subscribe, because it's a fun place around here. The other thing I wanted to say, even though I just technically finished my intro, but whatever. The thing that I find with playing with color theory and everything that I'm talking about is that it really brings a lot more joy into my makeup, because I am able to see just how flexible, how pliable products are, because I am mixing and I'm playing, and I'm not always actively like, oh, we're gonna do an art project on my face and I'm gonna mix together color. It just sometimes like happens. And then it's like, oh shit, you fucking did something. So yeah, it's really fucking cool to just be like, oh, I turned a whole collection of concealers into a far more functional collection for myself. Oh, I found ways to doctor my lip products to make the colors match or vibe better with a look in that moment, without buying more things, without buying things I'm not necessarily super excited by, or things that I'm not super excited by, not necessarily having to buy them because I can like doctor up a creation on my own. So I say this a lot. I'm not a not shopping channel, but I want to use and I want to enjoy my makeup. I want to enjoy my collection, and color theory helps me enjoy my collection like just to the moon. So now this intro is over, and we're gonna switch over to past Emily. So my first example is color correcting the face using a mixture of color correctors and concealer to get better color matches and end up putting on less face product. I forgot to film this intro before I started doing it, so we're gonna go back in time. Just to cover all my bases, the only thing that I have on my face is skincare and SPF, the Beauty of Joseon Rice Probiotics SPF, which has been on for a while, so there's no glowy base, nothing like that. We're gonna just see the action of the color correctors. So, what often happens with these concealers when they are not a good match is that I tend to then conceal more. I will bring it up onto my nose. I will even sometimes basically use the concealer as a very light foundation. It feels light to me, because I want this to match more. And so it does feel like a more appropriate blend and match. Not really a match, because it's still much peachier here. Constantly just eyeballing how much mint I want in this color. But do you see the difference? I feel much more comfortable just concealing and blending out in this area with my little bit of green corrector down the center of my face. And while the tone of the greener area and the concealer are still a little different, I can go in with more mint though and continue to offset the peachiness. And there is a sense that the peachy tone sometimes makes my dark circles look less dark, like versus this side. But I always feel like I put on less concealer when I use color corrector. Part of it is because, in my opinion, the texture of the LA Girl Pro Conceal correctors are very, very thin. So I don't feel like I'm putting a lot of product on when I'm doing like the green color corrector. And then with the concealer, I really can just like get it into this area and blend out. And it's much easier to correct, and it looks more natural. And I'm never going for this like, I'm not wearing makeup. But I had a bunch of concealers and formulas I like where I was like not loving how they actually looked on my face. And I'm amazed at just the difference. And even the pre-concealer, just the green color corrector, and this is very intensely green. I could probably use a green that's a little more in like this tone, like this lightness, but I actually realize how like olivey my skin is. And I just feel like I have such a lighter base now that I've started mixing, because I'm not feeling this desire to bring concealer everywhere if I don't want more concealing. Sometimes I do want more evenness and more coverage, but in general, like day to day and even filming, this is very much like, this side is very much like what I prefer. I'm gonna go in and correct this side a little bit. And sometimes it's not even adding product, like it's not squeezing out more product, it's just tapping in. I mean, I hate the dispensers of these, but I think because they are so thin, it's easier to like layer and blend out without it feeling cakey or too much. For a long time, like, once the color corrector trend kind of passed us, I really was like, yeah, I don't care. Like, it was a trend, I don't care. But as I've been exploring and reconnecting with my love of color theory, it's really come into play. So the second discovery with color theory that totally blew my mind, I was gonna say kind of, it totally blew my mind, was purple blush. And using purple blush as a mixer to make a contour color with bronzer. Now, the bronzer that I have is a more yellowy based bronzer. It's from Milani. It's the Silky Matte bronzing powder in 01 Sunlight. And I've always liked it because it is a more yellowy bronzer for my skin. I rarely go for contour kind of colors on my face, so owning a contour product just doesn't make sense to me. I'm barely interested in bronzers, to be honest. But recently I was doing a look where I wanted a more cool tone, kind of almost undead contour. And I started mixing and I was like, bitch, yes, 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 yes. When we're talking color theory, it does make sense that a more yellowy toned brown would be neutralized by a purple, because yellow and purple are opposite on the color wheel. They're complementary colors, which means when you mix them together, you're like going to get that kind of muddiness. I don't know how this would work for all bronzers, but if you already have products and you're like trying to figure out maybe how to get different tones out of them, I would look at your blush collection with your bronzers. I think that the teal in here could be an interesting mixing color too, but it's a little intimidating for me with face. So I'm gonna apply the bronzer to both sides of my face and then we'll color correct it, or, you know. And everything I'm doing is with a clean brush so that there's no existing color impacting. So this is how it bronzes. It's a nice bronzer. I think for me, I could probably move past this formula and this color, but I literally just, it's an unimportant thing to me. I rarely touch the bronzers, to be honest. But, you know, I was really, like I said, verging on the undead, but not even just undead. So what I do to mix, these things is I'm just going to use the same brush. And then I did like 3, into the product. We're going to do it on this side actually, because I know the lighting is better over here. And I actually feel like I could be a little heavy-handed. Now, I have gone a little heavy. I feel like you can see the difference, definitely. but I also want it to feel a little less purple. So I'm just going back in with the same brush with the bronzer and sandwiching over some bronzer. And this does look, for me, looks quite undead. I think the thing that I also remember too late is that contour doesn't come onto your cheek the way bronzer does for me. So I think that my general application is lacking. You definitely can neutralize and get, in my opinion, a more contoured look than just a bronzy look. And for me, this was a really nice discovery because sometimes I want some depth that's not warm. And I think with this, I can definitely layer over highlight and blush and kind of diffuse out this area is the part where I'm like, oh, I messed up. But also the way that I like that I can take the purple and like focus it more on the back hollows where it's like the most contoury and put less, you know, out this way. I like that because I don't like necessarily the contour stripe, but sometimes having that like back of the socket kind of depth is nice. And I think you could do this with other purples, you know, or possibly with the teal if you have a more orangey bronzer, possibly, if you have this palette. And I feel like this is like a very cool look because I feel like I got like purple, like purpley contour to bronze, whereas I feel like over on this side I kind of mushed it more together. But I dig this because it gives me that contour effect that can be really cool, I think, especially for like spooky season. Because I do tend to like color, I'm happier to have like a purpley brown contour than a gray one. So the third thing I want to show you today is layering glosses and lip products. I think that sometimes when we buy stuff, well, this is a bigger point for the entire video. I think that when we buy things, we think about them specifically in their zone. Like, I have this iridescent gloss. It does come across more blue on the lips. So you think of it as like, okay, that's a cool tone gloss. So I'm gonna just use it for cool tone looks. But blue can also neutralize very warm tones. So I pulled out a couple of my Propa lipsticks. These are beautiful lipsticks, very glossy, very satiny, very creamy. They're very, like the colors that I picked up are very on the warm spectrum. And sometimes they're a little bit too warm for what I'm craving. This is Victress. And this is the gloss topped Victress. Is it super subtle? Maybe, yeah, maybe. But does it still bring me some joy to know that I can doctor up my lip tones with glosses and all of that? It does, it does. Let me know how like noticeable it is, or if you felt like this was useful. I have a lot of different ideas for, like, just to go into the outro, I have a lot of different ideas and different ways that I play with color. And so this is just literally 3. I also tend to use a lot of like liners, like lip liner, eyeliner formulas I don't like on my lips to adjust the colors and things like that. So I think that there's a whole realm of opportunities when you're applying eyeshadow, mixing colors and all of that. So again, this is just kind of the beginning, but I'm just dabbling in this and seeing how y'all feel about it. And this is also a good space to leave comments and let me know your thoughts, your questions. As the name change is showing, I am very imperfectly putting out these videos and trying out different topics and things and looking to see how it goes. And I know that that's not like new around here, but it just felt like worth repeating. So yeah, that's just a couple of ways that I do things, that I work with things, and the ways that color theory gets me excited. Definitely let me know your thoughts in the comments. And I hope that you are taking care of yourself. Take care of yourself better today than you did yesterday. And also thanks to my patrons, my channel members, for being here. And if anyone feels so inspired, I would love for you to subscribe. But otherwise, I'm going to let you go. And I hope you have a great day. Bye, friends.